The beloved Queen Vic regular has had her world turned upside down after being diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, AML, an aggressive form of blood cancer. The diagnosis literally couldn't have come at a worse time. The Fox clan are rallying round Chelsea Fox, Zara Abrahams, after her young son Jordan was terribly injured by an accidental hit-and-run with Ian Beale, Adam Woodyard, at the wheel. For that reason, Denise made the heartbreaking decision to keep her diagnosis to herself to stop her family from worrying. Only two of her closest confidants know the truth: her dear friend Yolanda Truman, Angela Winter, and Jack Branning, Scott Massillon. In a recent episode, the story took a heartbreaking turn when doctors told a shocked Denise that she be admitted immediately for a week of intense chemotherapy, followed by 3 weeks in hospital to prevent infections treatment. However, Denise was determined to support Chelsea no matter what, especially since the worrying development that Jordan may never fully recover from his injuries. She completely refused to start the medical sessions, despite Jack's desperate pleas. Jack broke down in tears as he begged Denise to change her mind. But in the face of all medical advice, Denise ignored Jack and the doctors and chose to support her family, even in her increasingly weakened state. It's understandable why Jack cares so much about Denise. The two have enjoyed a tumultuous on-again and off-again relationship packed with heartache, infidelity and passion from 2019 all the way up until the present. They might not be married or together anymore, but there will always be a part of Jack's heart that belongs to Denise. Which is why it makes sense that Jack would confide in the one person on the square who might understand Phil Mitchell, Steve McFadden. The EastEnders legend has a pretty complicated relationship with Denise himself. They also had a tumultuous relationship spanning decades of Walford history, marked by dramatic clashes, complicated family ties, and a shared child. Phil might not be Jack's biggest fan, but the two old rivals are drawn together by their mutual ties on the square. They both care about Denise, and upcoming scenes will see Jack bare his soul to Phil and confess Denise's diagnosis, with explosive consequences. Denise ignores repeated calls from Walford General, determined to start treatment on her own terms. Meanwhile, Jack confides in Phil, and together they consider how to get through to her. What will Phil do? As the Fox Trumans rally together to find ways to support Chelsea and Jordan, Denise notices Kim's, Tamika Empson, ring, prompting her to reveal her and Howie's engagement. The family agreed to celebrate later in the Vic, though Chelsea notices Denise is distracted. Later, Denise is stunned when Phil turns up knowing all about her diagnosis. Despite his concerns, she throws him out. Walford is rocked by another explosive showdown next week as Denise Fox finally reaches her breaking point with Phil Mitchell, making a decision that could change both of their lives forever. For weeks, tensions have been simmering beneath the surface. While Denise has tried to keep the peace and focus on her family, Phil's growing influence over her life has become impossible to ignore. What begins as a minor disagreement quickly spirals into one of the most dramatic confrontations Albert Square has seen in months. The drama unfolds when Denise discovers that Phil has once again interfered in matters that don't concern him. Already exhausted by the constant pressure and emotional turmoil surrounding her personal life, Denise finds herself questioning whether she can continue allowing Phil to occupy such a significant place in her world. At first, Denise attempts to stay calm. Friends notice her frustration, but she insists she's handling the situation. However, beneath the composed exterior, a storm is brewing during a heated exchange at her home. Phil arrives expecting another opportunity to smooth things over, convinced that his usual charm and confidence will win the day. Instead, he walks straight into a confrontation he never saw coming. Denise doesn't hold back. Years of resentment, disappointment and frustration come pouring out as she finally tells Phil exactly how she feels. In a scene packed with emotion, she accuses him of constantly trying to control situations and making decisions on behalf of other people. Phil is stunned. Known throughout Walford for his intimidating presence and ability to dominate arguments, he finds himself speechless as Denise refuses to back down. Every attempt he makes to defend himself only fuels her anger further. As neighbors begin to notice the raised voices, the argument reaches a dramatic climax. Denise points towards the door and delivers an ultimatum. "Get out." The words leave Phil completely blindsided. For a moment, neither of them moves. The atmosphere is thick with tension as Denise stands firm, making it clear that this isn't one of their usual disagreements. This time she's serious. Phil reluctantly gathers himself and leaves, but not before issuing a warning that Denise may regret her decision. His parting words suggest that their conflict is far from over. Once the door closes behind him, Denise is left shaken but determined. The emotional fallout hits almost immediately. Friends rally around her, offering support and encouragement. Some believe she's done the right thing, arguing that Phil has had too much influence over her life for far too long. Others worry that she's made a dangerous enemy. After all, Phil Mitchell isn't known for walking away quietly. Meanwhile, Phil struggles to process what has happened. For perhaps the first time in years, he's been completely shut out by someone he thought would always be in his corner. His pride takes a significant blow, and those closest to him notice a darker side beginning to emerge. As he reflects on the confrontation, Phil faces difficult questions about his behavior and the choices that brought him to this point. Could Denise's rejection finally force him to change? Or will it push him further down a destructive path? But Denise's decision isn't just about removing Phil from her life. In the days that follow, she begins considering a future she never previously imagined. Freed from the constant drama and emotional complications, Denise starts focusing on herself and what she truly wants. The prospect of a fresh start becomes increasingly appealing. Whether it's a new relationship, a career opportunity, or simply reclaiming her independence, Denise realizes she's spent too much time living according to other people's expectations. Now she wants something different. Her life-changing decision sends shockwaves through her family, with reactions ranging from admiration to concern. Some relatives are thrilled to see her taking control of her future, while others fear she's making choices too quickly. Even Denise herself has moments of doubt. Late at night, she wonders whether throwing Phil out was really the right move. Despite everything that's happened, their history can't be erased overnight. Yet every time uncertainty creeps in, she remembers the frustration and unhappiness that led to the confrontation. That memory strengthens her resolve. As the week progresses, Walford becomes divided. Conversations in the cafe, the pub, and the market all revolve around the dramatic fallout between Denise and Phil. Everyone has an opinion. Some predict reconciliation is inevitable. Others believe the damage is simply too great to repair. One thing is certain. Neither Denise nor Phil will emerge from this ordeal unchanged. The consequences continue building toward another major showdown, with several residents caught in the middle. Secrets threaten to surface, loyalties are tested, and emotions run dangerously high. As Denise moves forward with her bold new plans, Phil faces the possibility of losing someone who genuinely mattered to him. Will he fight to win her back? Can Denise stay strong and embrace her new future? Or is another shocking twist waiting just around the corner? In true EastEnders fashion, the answers promise heartbreak, drama, and plenty of surprises. One chapter may be ending for Denise Fox, but an even bigger one is only just beginning. Can anyone get through to Denise before it's too late? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.